team. That's a scary sight underneath. Outside, Nelson. A little bit too much.
And you got to push. No question about it. You have to push.
We come up on 90 seconds. Marshallonis reset Ross. Slithers inside. Lewis. Corner three.
From St. Mary's, I'd go to the post maybe 3 out of the next 5 times. We'll see what they do.
John, you spoke to Mitchell Saxon. What did he tell you?
Yes, Spiro. Matt Saxon just told me that the main point of emphasis in the locker room was just better shot selection and sharing the ball. He told me if they can do that in the second half, they'll be right back in this game. Shot selection, the main priority for Randy Pennant, Spiro.
All right, John Ross able to get it back and somehow underneath to Morowski.
Drive to the basket in the challenge against the big.
1-point game. Ross pick and roll action to Wessels.
Sometimes pretty good reason to take a timeout, though, if you know it's going to be a one possession. If he's anticipating it's going to be that type of game in the last 2 minutes and change here, but you've given up all your timeouts. Sometimes that's not that big a factor.
Ross gets a Saxon screen, slithers inside. Barrett, big shot for the Gales.
And I'm not sure he could have penned a better start for the Beavers in what is a really tough road venue. Ross, entry. Saxon, left hand, that's good. 6-0 run by LMU.
Stay in the zone that's been successful for LMU these last few possessions. See if St. Mary's can figure it out. Attack the middle, quick decisions.
Oh, a 3 by Barrett. And
here's Ben Gregg, open 3 right side, no. So the Zags, a slow offensive start. St. Mary's has the 6-0 lead and the ball. Jordan Ross, nice dish to Saxon, who scores the basket. Plus the
clock to 7. Lost it, just pushed it out to Austin, who was tightly defended by Morowski for 3. It was short. Morowski just outside the paint, trying to turn around, and eventually does. If Portland, we've only had 1 whistle so far in the first nearly 6 minutes of play. And while the Portland offense hasn't been great, it's been better than SMC's. Saxon double-teamed on the low block. They play it around for Morowski, and Paulus Morowski is the only for Augustus Marshallonis. Inbounded to Morowski. Quickly, Morowski. Down low, nobody home except Jordan Ross. Out to Marshallonis, and he's got the 3.
Okafor spinning inside over Saxon, no good. Here comes Ross. Morowski trailing the play. The 3 is perfect.
ISO again for Watts.
Blocked by the taller Hardaway. Marshallonis got it to Ross. Here comes Ross. Lobs it up. Morowski with the dunk.
Isn't scoring it as he did a season ago, but he is talented 7-footer who can pick and pop, put the ball on the deck, get out in transition.
Augustus Marshallonis. Marshallonis launching a 3, and he banks it in right around. Point lead for St. Mary's. Augustus Marshallonis fires a 3.
A terrific job.
Field goal in over 5 minutes for Oregon State, and it's a 10-point game.
Good sequence of events right there for the Beavers. They get the turnover and the conversion. You can kind of feel this crowd wanting to get in the game, but right there, just a...
And a block shot from St. Mary's, and Augustus Marshallonis leads it. Jordan Ross Fumbles it but recovers. And now the 7-1, Harry Wessel.
Hickman, three. Way off the mark. Saved in bounds, but saved to St. Mary's.
They got numbers. Will they take advantage of it? This Gales team plays a little bit more deliberate and opportunistic at the offensive end. When they have a chance, they will take it.
Marcellonis three. Against Saxon. The big man puts it in for Gonzaga. And thanks to Carl Ravitch, Jimmy Dykes, those of you joining us from Kentucky, and its lead. They were down.
Stay in the zone
in the first half, and this has changed the game.
The zone and the adjustment into the zone by Mark Few has been brilliant. Look how stagnant and hesitant they are. Their offense keeps getting pushed further and further away.
Lewis, the freshman, for three is good.
Ross has to shoot it. He does. No good. Wessels tips it in the first 20.
Wide open.
And Hardaway is left alone, and he hits it.
Seems like he's grown out of that. He's also grown into being a vocal leader for the St. Mary's team. He's always been a leader, but one of the three captains on this Gale squad, and they say he's very vocal this year as a fifth year.
Morauskas, they tried to go to him early to start this game. Barrett with the runner. Look, Barrett with two.
And Washington State playing at their tempo has a 6-point lead.
Anytime they're able to force a turnover, guys are getting out ahead because 1 through 5 on this roster are willing passers, playmakers, throwing it up ahead on the break.
Lewis launches and hits. This
additions. Santa Clara is terrific. So it's a great league. St. Mary's is terrific, and so is San Francisco.
Off the baseline, inbounds, another half-minute drought for St. Mary's.
That hurts.
Beasley, lob. Lingard couldn't handle it. Dons turn it over. Shot fake and a good one. And all the way to the rim. 1 point for the Dons in the second half.
Zone press by San Francisco. 2-2-1, three-quarter court zone press. They're doing that now to try to have their defense get their offense going with some deflections or steals or a quick shot.
Only one steal in the game by San Francisco.
Yeah, they get now 7 a game. I love it now. They're playing some zone. Now they might score, but once again, they're dominating the paint card, so they got to do something.
So Morauskas, another.
As the Waves get the ball to Odom, 15-foot jumper won't go. And the loose ball picked up by Saxon. Luke Barrett leading the Gales with 12 points. He's been the one player the Waves have not been able to stop. He's got 12 points, 4 rebounds, 5 of 7 shooting. Underneath and laying it in is Mitchell Saxon. Season play, 16 consecutive years, probably be 17 this season. 10 times going to the NCAA. They have won 20 or more, 15 of the last 16 years. And I think the one year they did not go over 20 wins was the COVID year. And they're headed for another postseason tournament once again. They have been such a great program. Another three.
The first, Chama. He'll take the three. It's on the way. No good. Saxon another rebound.
Like when Marcellonis is just every part of his game, I keep saying it's so effortless. This guy's gliding on the court. It's almost like he's wearing skates. He's skating past everybody.
Into the corner, Barrett for three. It's good. Into the corner, Hardaway for three. Up and no good. All rebound to Barrett.
A great box out by Barrett. He leveraged himself in a position to go get that ball.
Ross underneath for Saxon, who lays it in. And San Diego strikes first.
That's the start you need in the second half. You're San Diego. So make some plays on defense, finish on offense. I like that a lot better. It's not a 1-on-3. It was basically a 2-on-1, maybe a 2-on-none. Duckett finishes well. Try to draw some contact and get the call, but was able to get the bucket down.
Now 3 in the corner, up and good. Morauskas, 44-28.
Tough shot, contested shot. Able to knock it down.
Jordan Ross across the line looking for Saxon, up and in. Mitchell Saxon.
Yeah, good night for Lewis. Best news for San Diego. Saxon is taking a break.
Ross inside for Wessels, who gets the dunk.
Season a year ago, WCC Player of the Year. Saxon gets his offensive board and tips it away. He'll do that a lot. Marshallonis for 3, and Augustus is on the board.
Used to having to defend off the bounce, but I just gap up and stay between Saxon and the basket, force him to shoot over the top. He doesn't have great lift.
2 fouls on Azanza. Morauskas for 3. Got it.
McKinnon back to Rapp, 15 on the shot clock. Had it poked away.
Barcelona's really quick hands.
Ross with it, back to Marshallonis. And McKeever against Delano right now on the block. Hardaway, extra pass to Ross. Marshallonis, the 3. Sinks it. He's got 6 points.
All of a sudden.
They always do. Sit courtside. You think you have a word or two. Ross. Across the paint to Saxon. Flushes it home.
Draw the contact and get yourself to the free throw line.
The Pilots back into that zone defense. Barrett saw the opening. Out to Ross. They kick it over to Lewis. He's got his first basket.
Mary's doing such a better job in this second half of scoring the ball.
Masic the take as he split the defense, but there wasn't enough on it.
Great cut. Just can't get it high enough on the board.
Ross to Wessels. And around 3
for St. Mary's. And they're back up 5-3. Mo Odom wants another from the right wing. Back iron miss. And here comes Jordan Ross in transition. Morauskas going for a quick 3, and he drains it. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, Steve.
Okay.
For what that means. But yeah, the St. Mary's women a fantastic start to WCC play. And so the fact that they're down 10 doesn't really mean a whole lot the way they've been coming back.
No, in fact, it's a matchup of 2 teams that are on
diagonal passes going tic-tac and toe, and Wessels had the finish, and Wessels has the block on the other side. Here come the Gales in transition. It's Barrett all the way to the glass. Still got that one to drop in. It's only a matter of time until the Tigers break that WCC winless drought that's been nearly 2 years in the making, as Luke Barrett was able to fight off some the mark receiving the pass. Dosic the other way. That was blocked by Jordan Ross.
The Gales have a break going here, but they might be better served to bring the ball out, and I think they're going to do that now and get the last shot of the first half.
That's just the 5th block of the season for Jordan Ross. And down to 10. Ross for Saxon down low. Got it. Great.
And I think the pass he made on the previous possession had something to do with him getting a little space there because Mitchell Saxon couldn't go out as much as he might have liked.
Luke Barrett knocks down a 3-pointer. Tonight doing just that, aided by the performance at the 3-point line. Pepperdine just 2 of 11 from out there. And the Waves going with a zone, down 22.
I think we're at the point where Randy Bennett can start thinking about emptying his bench.
A 25-point advantage here with just south of 6 minutes to play, and another Pepperdine turnover. That's 12 for the Waves tonight. Into the corner for Mikey Lewis. The hot hand hits another. One thing we were talking about against the Aggies on Sunday night, St. Mary's was doing really good on the offensive glass in that game.
As Ross comes up with a steal, there goes Luke Barrett coast to coast.
Fisher, he beat two players on that. He beat Barrett down the lane, and then Morauskas made a good effort to give some help, and Fisher was able to get by Morauskas as well.
Ross to Luke Barrett for three, and he drains it.
Position, as we've said, and McKeever is maybe the poster boy for that.
St. Mary's is a top 30 team in size in the blink of an eye, but it is strange to see them not really utilizing him, as Jordan Ross is short on a three, but Luke Barrett hustles out for the offensive rebound. The Gales have to find a way to take advantage of this, but it's been the inability to finish at the rim tonight. Morauskas from the left elbow, swish.
Again, you would think, Brian, it's the old thing that you got to win those games. They don't necessarily help your net ranking by winning, but God forbid if you were to lose one or two of those games, they would really hurt your net ranking.
We saw that a little bit with the Utah State loss to UC San Diego just a couple of nights ago, as Morauskas fights his way through, and I have no idea, Steve, if I'm being honest, how he got that one to fall.
I'm with you, and I think the Gales thought he might have walked on that possession, but they didn't get the walk, and Bud Clark got the bucket.
They thought he walked. Clark thought he was fouled. It ends in a basket for Bud Clark, and he's got 4 points here in the second half. There's Hardaway from the right elbow. Got it.
And again, along the free throw line to have Paulus Morauskas either score or become a playmaker.
Marciulionis, the inbounds to Morauskas, he flippered it right back to him. That was pretty fun.
And Marciulionis did a good job of getting off the baseline.
See big number one there at the top of your screen. St. Mary's has not one, but two different players who come in at 7'1", 275. Luke Barrett will continue to shoot in the country in his senior year. Couldn't deliver when his name was called there in the corner. St. Mary's looking to take the lead. Have not led in this game. Mitchell Saxon changes.
12, 14 feet from the basket, but his momentum carrying him away from the basket. He left it a little short. After he gets into more reps playing basketball again, that's going to drop.
Loner 0 of 4 tonight, coming over from the football team.
Now trying to attack Saxon on that left side. He said, let me choose the path of least resistance. Take it from the left side of the floor to the right for the easy bucket off glass.
Ross pumps it into the corner. Raising for the three.
St. Mary's and UTSA, Saxon and Jai. And this time it's won cleanly by the Gales. So St. Mary's 7-1 on the season, coming off their lone loss of the year in the Acrisure series, where they fell to Arizona State in the finale of that one, 68-64. Mitchell Saxon off the feed from Jordan Ross, and the 2 field goals made through their first 12 minutes of the game. And now both teams have the same number of made baskets at 13. That's kind of hard to believe.
That is hard to believe, but it is indeed true.
I should give Ryan Barnett a little more credit. Assistant Athletics Director for Communications.
There you go.
Assistant Director of Communications. That's my bad, RB. Saxon beat the shot clock and laid it in off. Jaquan Scott with an answer the other way. Keeps it at a 15-point game.
And Saxon was unselfish there. He had a chance to go on the block, but got it to Marciulionis for the three.
Those are the three-pointers that are going to drive Randy Bennett mad. The three right after you make a three is Marciulionis with a pretty win LV in 2 overtimes. UTSA lost to Florida Atlantic at home. St. Mary's wins the opening tip-off. Jordan Ross will start with it. Barrett to Morauskas and now Ross. Ross just 6 points in regulation. Marciulionis knifes his way through the zone and gets the first.
Saxon and Big Sean Phillips Jr.
Couple big bruisers out there. And Saxon off the inbound and off the glass. Back games with a downtown hit for Hardaway as Ross pokes it free from Mason. The active hands from St. Mary's. And it's Saxon with the turnaround make Timeout, Bobby Hurley, after shrinking the deficit from 9-1 with an 8-0 stretch. Lewis fires and knocks down the three. 15 points and consecutive threes on back-to-back possessions for the freshman after Arizona State missed 9 of their first 10 attempts from three-point territory. Barrett, clean look, and he cashes in. From UMass, a guy that can really stretch the floor on the offensive end for USC.
He definitely, like you said, can stretch it, but did a nice job down there on the block with a nice little fadeaway. Soft touch.
St. Mary's preseason pick to finish second in the West Coast Conference behind Gonzaga. Won the WCC tournament a season ago. Morauskas has the first.
Very solid defensively.
St. Mary's can really slow you down. Thomas. USC still hasn't had a hit from out there. Ross watched by Abo. Going to that offhand. Hardaway. It's good.
Not at all. They are putting on a defensive master class right now.
That's a great way to put it. Even with Saxon, a top 5 shot blogger in program history on the bench, Barry Wessels, almost a carbon copy. Wessels draws 2. Ross makes the extra pass. Barrett darts inside and lays it in. Timeout, USC has more free throw makes than they do field goal makes in this second half. 5 freebies, only 3 shots made from the floor. Ross feeds Wessels.
We resume action. Still the same starting 5 on the floor for St. Mary's. Marshallonis, a hanger in the lane, no good, but Saxon the rebound.
Yeah, I think Marshallonis was looking for a foul call there.
Ross back to Marshallonis, head fakes a 3. Back out to Ross. Now Barrett, wing 3 is good. Around the top of the key, trying to get inside Jessup. He lost it, and here comes Jordan Ross. Ross up ahead to Mikey Lewis, hanging in the air, and he gets the layup to go. New trend in basketball, having 10 guys you can throw out there versus, say, a big 3. Barrett on the inbound lays it in. Roll home on the friendly bounce, 42-31.
Wouldn't be surprised to see more of Price today. He brings a little bit more shooting from one of those 6'7" guys that Cal Poly has and uses as a center in a way.
Ross over to Hardaway, now gets it back. Hardaway, he's going to fire a corner 3 and hit it. Ashley ball on the way is good. That is the one different starter this second half from the first half is Aaron Price Jr. as he hits a corner 3, 49-34 Gales.
Yeah, he's in for Tarlatch, and I think it's for more of that shooting role. We saw Reneker the whole time was going to make the extra pass, never even really looked at the hoop despite the driving lane.
Yeah, if you thought they were shooting a lot of threes before in the first half, wait till this second half with them trailing. Saxon inside off the window.
But still, that's the type of look they want. That was a good look from 3.
Yeah, Reneker, a 40%er from downtown on the season. Marshallonis gives it to Barrett. Now back to Marshallonis. Gales trying to be really deliberate. Go to their center instead of Marshallonis. 3 is in. Marshallonis makes it 64-54. Gales have their double-digit lead. Miss from Hyder. Here comes Ross the other way to Marshallonis. Marshallonis, layup is good. And off the inbound.
He's also got himself a double-double.
Saxon with the block. Ross the other way. Hands it to Marshallonis. Marshallonis into the lane, lays it in.
And Maduff Valley, who is from East Oakland. Jonathan Changang, 6'3", 200 guard from Georgia. And then Daniel Amaya just coming into that foul. He's from Ghana, 6'8". It will be a big size advantage for the Gales tonight. Morauskas.
I will say that Stanislaus State was consistent last season. It scored 14 points in the first half and 14 in the second.
St. Mary's had 6 different players in double figures in that one.
And Stanislaus State, again, this is an exhibition game for the Warriors So the Warriors' leading scorer, Jeremiah Jones, is hurt, and he is not playing tonight.
Averaging 20 a game, 11.8 the year before, but he didn't play much his first couple of years. And he was WCC Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Yet another player who has benefited from the Gales player development program, so to speak.
Marshallonis. A couple Lithuanian players on this St. Mary's team.
Fale made two nice moves there, but then the shot was not so nice.
Speaking of Lithuania, here's Morauskas, who's on his way to another double-double. He's got 6 points, 9 rebounds. The only question is, will he play enough?
I think he will. I'm going on a limb.
And it's in.
Point a long time ago, but it's still to be determined.
Long three for Zimmersov. He came into this game 8 for 13 on threes.
Great pass. Great pass by Rowe.
Keep that alive. He's made only 3 threes so far this season. That was a focal point for him in the offseason to prove he's a better shooter than he has been over his collegiate career. Marshallonis lost it, got it back. Shot clock's under 10. Morauskas knocks down the 3.
Richards answers with another basket to put him up to 16. So it's Marshallonis and Makai Richards trading blows here late in the second half.
And just remember, Makai Richards has played here twice as a member of the Pacific Tigers. In those 2 games, he had only 2 points.
Far to open up the season, but their offense has done enough to push them through and keep them afloat. It's Jordan Ross around Juve and shovels it to Morauskas with 2 hands. Top is just off the mark by May. Offensive rebound for Suleiman. And now Barrett comes up with the errant shot. Suleiman a little slow to get up on the other side of the floor, but now he races back down to help out his Towson Tigers. Tie game 7-7. Morauskas trying to body his way up in the paint. Now he's double teamed, flips it to Barrett, near side corner. Now Barrett knifes his way in. And the Gales working it all around the floor. Luke Barrett slithers in.